Thomas reporting tonight. This is not the first time the TSA has come under fire for security flaws like this, and it is renewing some criticism of the agency. Joining us now, Andy Arena, the former special agent in charge of the FBI here in Detroit. And Andy, what do you think about all that?
Unbelievable. In the threat environment that we're living in today, to fail 95% of the test runs, it's just astounding. I can't believe that it happened. I can't see how that would happen.
You know, Andy, 2 years ago, the former head of the TSA said that these red teams, as they're called, are these like super terrorists knowing exactly what to target. I know you're kind of feeling a bit incredulous about this. As citizens here, how concerned should we be by this news, do you think, for our safety?
Well, the former director of TSA, John Pistol, I've known John for many years of our time in the FBI. He set these red teams up to test TSA, to probe them. Look, you're not going to catch everyone. That's just the way it is. That's life. But, you know, to fail 95%, particularly in this threat environment, it's just unacceptable. And somebody, you know, I don't know if it's training. I don't know if it's a lack of technology. I don't know if it's incompetence. But DHS better get to the bottom of this quickly.
I would say.
Now, this all comes in light of what happened here with the Patriot Act also falling into this gap where essentially Congress failed to act, and so it's up in arms right now. So, I mean, put this in perspective with these problems with inspections at the airport. At this particular moment, where are we?
Well, I think we have major gaps in our ability to protect the homeland right now. And as you said, Stephen, this coming on the heels of the Patriot Act, or certain section of the Patriot Act lapsing, we've got some big holes, and we better fill those holes pretty quickly. Our enemies are after us. They're probing, and we better do something quickly about this.
You know, Andy, I wonder, what does this say to terror groups, right? Potentially they're out there drawing up plans. You never know what exactly they're up to. But they too are getting word of this report. Does this make them more emboldened, do you think?
Well, Joanne, they're like the red teams. They're out there every day probing, trying to find gaps, weaknesses in our defenses. This report, this is just going to embolden them. They're certainly on the right track.
So, Andy, what do we do then? What should the government do? What should law enforcement do? What should we as citizens do when we're up against a wall like this?
Well, I think Congress needs to act quickly on two fronts. They need to figure out what they're going to do about the Patriot Act. Are they going to fill that gap? Are they going to come up with a new act? But I think that they need to push DHS very quickly on figuring out how this happened and fixing it. As I said, there are going to be lapses, there are going to be gaps, but not 95%. That's just unacceptable.
And what should, so we answered what Congress should do, what law enforcement, what should we as the traveling, just Americans trying to stay safe, what should we do?
Well, I think what we've been doing, Stephen, we've got to be vigilant. If you see something suspicious in line on the plane, you've got to report it. Don't feel like you're going to hurt somebody's feelings. I think you can't be that overly sensitive. I think that's the way we help law enforcement protect this country, and quite frankly, to protect ourselves.
You know, I think what we've seen since 9/11, I think the thought has been that there isn't a great likelihood that we'd see another attack with a jetliner, that they would go after us in other ways. But you get news like this and you wonder, it's quite possible that a terror group could pull off something, some type of airline attack again.
Most definitely. Look, mainstream core al-Qaeda has never given up on the air attack. That's always been their focus, and they've continued on. Groups like ISIS, they at this point really don't have the wherewithal to do that. But they have lone wolves here in the United States, and it may embolden one of them to try something. So it really just compounds the issues that law enforcement and security face in this country.
Now, one of the reports that we saw in that story just a moment ago, the specific incident happened at Newark Airport where one of these red agents went through with a bomb strapped to his back, and the TSA agent failed to notice a bomb strapped to the guy's back. Did I mention it was strapped to his back, Andy? How'd that happen?
Yes, yes. Well, Stephen, that's a good question. To me, that's probably, as I said, this could be training, it could be lack of technology. Or number three, and that's probably what this is, just incompetence. That's somebody, quite frankly, just not doing their job or not doing it the way they're supposed to. That's incompetence. It's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah, well, you certainly think that this is raising a lot of red flags, and that the administration is working on making some changes to make sure that nothing happens. So, Andy Arena, thank you so much for your time and expertise tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, still ahead here on the Now Detroit Police.